and this time he did not give us as bad of a squeeze as he did back at Monaco. Guys, this is Lewis Hamilton. Oh no! What an uncharacteristic mistake from Lewis Hamilton! What happened there? He just... Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, we are heading from the most prestigious track on the Formula 1 calendar to my personal favorite track on the current F1 calendar. We are heading towards Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Guys, welcome back to Turbo Fox Races. Welcome back to F1 2020 career mode. Back in the seat of the prancing horse. And guys, this weekend in Azerbaijan, you guys, for those of you guys that have been a subscriber or a viewer for a long time on the channel know I absolutely adore the Baku City Street Circuit. It's not a popular opinion because people tended to hate this track due to it being such a high-speed track and it's still being a city street circuit. It is the walls can really ruin your race or your qualifying, whatever you do here. But I just feel it keeps you on your toes, and this is a track that properly tests your driving capability. So if you want to get better at a game, just grind Baku, because it has a little bit of everything except a hairpin. Basically, it's got everything except hairpins. In any case, guys, make sure to drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds. And also, make sure to go check out all the links in the description down below. Follow the social medias. Go subscribe to my and my one of my best friends, iiTzAssassins' new gaming channel. The link is in the description down below. It's not a racing game channel, but we have a lot of fun on there. So please go check that out. And yeah, guys, on the performance chart, you guys can see that we are looking towards aero and chassis. The car engine-wise is not looking too bad. I don't tend to rush upgrades, guys. I really tend to go for the standard development, because then the upgrades literally like you guys saw there, it's only got a 2% chance of failing. So it's really smart to go with those choices. So that is what I did there. Here you guys can see we fast forward and we are heading towards Baku. Tire allocation for this weekend, I think I'm going to go balanced, to be deadly honest to you guys, because Baku, all the tires are usable around here. I just don't prefer the hards, but we'll see what happens in the race itself. If you guys didn't check out the previous episode in Monaco, hashtag spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil it now. So if you haven't watched that episode, click off this one and go watch Monaco right now, because you are in for the race of your life. Guys, after a heroic win in Monaco, after a massive crash between myself, Lewis Hamilton, and Danny Kvyat at the first corner, we came back with a vengeance. And I will continue talking about that in just a second. While we look at the performance chart, guys, it's Mercedes leading the way from us and Ferrari P2. Red Bull Racing Point and Renault are fighting over P3 to 5 in the R&D. Then you've got McLaren and AlphaTauri very close behind in P6 and P7. Alfa Romeo are in no man's land in P8. Haas P9 and Williams are still in P10. Now, guys, after the crash with Hamilton the previous round in Monaco, with Hamilton and Kvyat, we stayed out an extra lap without a front wing under safety car to complete a full lap on our set of soft tires. We dove it into the pit lane on the final lap before the safety car would come into the pit lane, strapped on a set of hard tires, and we ran those hard tires for 36 race laps. And at the end, even though we were defending like our lives depended on it, we came home to win the Monaco GP. Can we do something similar here this weekend? I hope not, because I don't want to crash again. Now, jumping straight towards the end of our first run in qualifying, guys, this Baku City Street Circuit is an absolute thing of beauty. Now, guys, your setup here around Baku is very, very, very important. You've got a very tight and twisty middle sector, but your first and third sector is so dependent on acceleration and top-end speed that a high downforce setup can ruin your lap completely. You guys can see actually through the second corner, my first flying lap was very scruffy, and just through the second corner I gained half a second. So you guys can see the first lap was not very well done. But back to the setup talk, if you have a good tuned setup around Baku, it can work for you. Because the thing about this track is, unlike other tracks which have similarities, Baku is a beast of its own. You can't really use another track setup here because it will bite you in the rear. If you have a little bit too high downforce, you can easily lose 4 to...
Checks complete. We're ready.
Thank you, Jeff. You can easily lose 4/10 to half a second in the first and third sectors just on the straights, but then you have a too low downforce setup, and in that second sector, the car feels like an absolute donkey. So your tuned setup here, not just with your aero, but with your suspension geometry, every little bit of your tuning around this track matters. And it's just when you get that perfect feeling of the car being at a good space for your feeling, as well as the car suiting the track, you just go around here like an absolute rocket ship, which is fantastic. So guys, we're going to start commentating on the lap as we enter the second sector. A very tight left-right chicane here. Try to avoid that inside curve on the right-hand turning, because that curve bounces you like an absolute trampoline. Then heading in towards one of my favorite sections on the entire F1 calendar, the castle section. Tight right-hander into a double left into a right as we scrape the walls there of the castle. Then we go into the left-hander. Now barreling down this flat-out section, it's a double left-hander, but it's flat out all the way. Don't even think about touching that brake pedal or lifting the throttle. Into a very, very, very tight left-hander. There I mount the curve because I could see that the car could take the little jump there. And you guys can see I gain about 2/10 just doing that. Through the final braking zone of the track, from here on it's flat out all the way to the line. 8th gear before you hit the chicane here. Try and get as close to those walls as possible. I'm a little hesitant on that second on the right hand turning for the chicane, but still we are 6/10 up on our time. Open up DRS now as we barrel towards the line at over 330 kilometers an hour. 340 as we hit the line, and it's speed.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Well done to Daniel Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, guys. The Renaults looked good throughout this weekend, so we're going to have to keep an eye on Ricciardo. But guys, it's time for my favorite race on the calendar. It's going to be a good one. So let's head straight to the Baku City Street Circuit for the Azerbaijan GP.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Lance Stroll alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Parker, Sebastian Vettel and Bottas, Perez, Kvyat, Verstappen and Pierre Gasly, Norris, Albon, Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Latifi, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen. Russell and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
That is the idea, Jeff. Guys, we are on the grid. We are going for an aggressive two-stop strategy, guys, because the likelihood of a safety car here is big, but still, I just like the two-stop where I can push flat out the whole way. So, guys, you guys know the drill. Jam with me on the formation lap. That's all you need to do to get yourself pumped for this Grand Prix. Guys, also, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding the bell to never miss a future episode. And let's get ready for madness. Oh, yeah. Guys, are you guys ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? We head to 5 red lights and it's go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton on the front row. We get a fantastic launch to get up alongside Daniel Ricciardo. Hamilton defends from Stroll heading into T1. We get up the inside of the Renault of Ricciardo. So it's Hamilton leading the way from Stroll in P2, ourselves in P3. Ricciardo's P4. Our teammate Sebastian Vettel is going side by side with the second 2019 pink Mercedes of Sergio Perez. If you guys want to have the literal terms, the 2020 Racing Point, but it's basically a 2019 Mercedes AMG Petronas racing car. Here we go. Hamilton leads the way. My teammate did get jumped there by Perez. So it's Mercedes, Racing Point Ferrari, Renault, Racing Point Ferrari. I'm gonna need Vettel to support me more throughout this championship, guys. We are currently the championship leader and leading by a solid margin, but it's still a long season. There's still a lot that can happen, and I know that number 44 Black Panther Mercedes wants this title more than I do. By the way, for everybody that still thinks I'm a Hamilton hater, I'm not a Hamilton hater. I just don't support the guy. I still respect him. Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for winning his 7th world title. And yeah, like I said, guys, I don't like the guy, but a good driver is a good driver. I still don't feel that he's the best ever, and I will never say that he is the best ever because you can't compare the different timelines of drivers. But Lewis is one of the best, that is undoubted. And congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for his 7th world title. Hopefully, stuff gets better for Lewis in the future. Yeah, unfortunately, Lewis has been tested positive for COVID-19, guys, and I hope Lewis gets a speedy recovery. But guys, back to the action. We are going for a move on Lance Stroll for P2 in this Grand Prix. On the main straight here. No DRS yet. Remember, it's still the beginning of the race. DRS will only get activated on the start of the next lap. But we take away P2 from Lance Stroll, and now we set our sights on Lewis Hamilton. We fast forward a bit into the second lap, guys. We look at Max Verstappen. What is he doing? What did he do there? Guys, I honestly think Max just broke his car there. I don't know what he tried to do as he bounced over that curb. Maybe the car failed before he got to the corner and he just tried to get out of the way. But I honestly think that bounce over the curb is what cost him, well, what broke the car, like officially. So Max Verstappen on the second lap is already out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Here we take a look at Antonio Giovinazzi as he is making a beautiful move on one of the Williams cars, and that is a beautiful move from Giovinazzi at the end of lap 2. We now jump onto the end of lap 3, and we are on board with the one remaining Red Bull of Alexander Albon. Here we go. DRS is now enabled along with the, I saw that he had overtake on, and it's back on now, but he had overtake on for a big while there as Albon goes side by side with one of the Alpha Tauris. It is Danny Kvyat, and Albon goes right around the outside of Kvyat. Or no, I think actually that's Gasly. Sorry guys, that's Gasly, not Albon. Oh, that's Gasly, not Albon. Gasly, not Kvyat. But Albon is right around the outside of Gasly. He had to defend now on the second straight because Gasly has got DRS on him now. Inside for the Red Bull, outside for the Alpha Tauri. Junior team versus senior team. Come on, junior team. Come on, junior team. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm a massive Alpha Tauri fan. And I don't think I'll ever be able to support Red Bull again. But that's a video for another day. So here we go, guys. At the end of lap 4, you guys see I'm coming in for a very, very early pit stop off of my soft tires. Guys, the soft tires are absolutely horrendous here on heavy fuel. They're not a horrendous tire, but when the cars are on heavy fuel, those softs, they just can't handle the weight of the car. So it's a very good tire to be on at the end of the race, but at the start of the race, just get off of that thing. The mediums are a very endurable tire. So if you're a keen-eyed viewer, you would have seen on my strategy, my two-stop was going from a soft onto 2 sets of mediums. Now what I might think of doing is eking it out on the second medium stint, and maybe for the last 10 laps, 10 laps is a little bit of a push, or for the last 8 laps go on to a set of softs, just to make sure that I can win this Grand Prix. So just keep that in mind, but we'll see how things go as the race progresses. And you guys can see this is now Daniel Ricciardo, who made a move on Stroll. So Ricciardo is now into P3. The number 3 car is into P3. So Ricciardo is actually having a really good race, guys. He's got a good chance to get a podium here today, because Bottas is absolutely nowhere. Verstappen is out. Albon is playing midfield, and my teammate Vettel is also, he's not really been a force in this Grand Prix. As we go right around the outside of one of the Williams cars, so you guys can see now I'm battling these back markers, and the quicker I can get done with these guys, the better. We are now set right behind Kimi Räikkönen for P17 through the flat out chicane. You guys can see once again I missed at the apex of the right-hander, but nothing too bad. You are still flat out through there. Overtake mode is engaged. It's myself, Magnussen, and Latifi. Look at this! 3 cars. Räikkönen has got massive speed. We get past Magnussen and Latifi. Will we go around the outside of Räikkönen? We do. That's a triple move heading into the first corner. And that is the second time that I've done this at this track. We did that in our, I think it was our first or second season of F1 2019 career mode. We also made a triple move on this straight, and it just feels fantastic. That will never get old. What a move there. We got carried by the Alfa Romeo. I'm not going to lie. The DRS of the Alfa Romeo and the slipstream helped me so much, but the Ferrari has got the better speed. It is a better car. Let's take a look at this one more time, guys. Off of the rear end of the Williams, you guys can see here comes Räikkönen. He's got so much overspeed. He just pulls alongside. I myself have got overspeed. I pulled along to the inside with Räikkönen, and as we get to the first corner, we are so far ahead already of Latifi and Magnussen. I can just pull to the outside and absolute school the flying fin around the outside. That was juicy. Here we go, guys. We're now on board with Daniel Ricciardo, who is coming in. I think this is the end of lap 6. And yeah, it's what surprised me, because guys, look what Ricciardo does. Ricciardo dives into the pit lane and he straps on a second set of soft tires. However, Danny Kvyat, who started, P4? No. Danny Kvyat started about P7, P8, goes on to the hard tires. So Danny is going to the end of the Grand Prix. Ricciardo is doing a very aggressive 2-stop, but I think he might have overheard me, and he is trying a soft medium, where I'm going to try and do a soft medium soft. But if these videos don't last as long as I think they will, I'm just going to do soft medium. But we're still going to play it safe, guys. You'll see another move there on Kevin Magnussen, on Charles Leclerc, excuse me. But ahead of me, this was happening. Giovinazzi was fighting with the Alpha Tauri of Gasly, and as Giovinazzi goes up the inside, we just went past the horse of Leclerc, and now, heading into the next corner, Giovinazzi has a massive lockup, and he slows up Gasly so much. We now go down this back straight. I don't have DRS because I was outside 1 second as we crossed the DRS detection line, so I don't have DRS. But now Giovinazzi is so slow, I think he might have flat spotted that left front tire. But here we go, into the next corner, braking very late, onto the inside of Gasly. That's not a place to make a move, but just like in Monaco, at a very unorthodox place, we make a move on Pierre Gasly, and this time he did not give us as bad of a squeeze as he did back at Monaco. Guys, this is Lewis Hamilton. And then, oh no! What an uncharacteristic mistake from Lewis Hamilton! What happened there? He just lost it going through the chicane there. Hamilton has broken his front wing. The virtual safety car has been called out. What on dear earth happened there? Guys, Hamilton just lost it. Like, there was no car ahead of him for dirty and nothing. Hamilton just lost it. What happened? I'm speechless. Hamilton just lost it heading through that flat out chicane. It's not even a corner where grip is an issue. You're doing 300 kilometers an hour. The car's downforce is supposed to carry you. Unless Hamilton, just something went wrong there. But oh my word, how Hamilton is still going, I do not know. But guys, that has basically gifted me the lead as soon as the first round of pit stops will be done. Because oh my word, that was a hefty impact there for Lewis Hamilton. Guys, I honestly don't know how he is still going. How he didn't shear a wheel off there, because that was a massive impact. And Lewis is still in this race, don't get me wrong. Lewis can still score some very good points here, but I think the win is out of bounds for Lewis Hamilton. You guys can see it now. This is now myself right behind Antonio Giovinazzi. And here we go, barreling down the back / home straight. Here we go. Giovinazzi defends very harsh. That Alfa Romeo is an absolute beast in a straight line. Giovinazzi made contact with me there. I went a little bit sideways there. You guys can see a replay. I keep my outside line. Okay, I did give Gio a bit of a squeeze there. So, ooh, that was a little bit my fault. I was a little bit harsh on Gio there. But we both had a little bit of a moment there, but still the race goes on. We jump on board here now with Lando Norris, guys, who is the net race leader! No! This Racing Point, I don't know if you guys saw, but they double stacked in the pit lane. So Sergio Perez is going to, launch Stroll, I think, because Perez passed Stroll. Stroll is basically out of his race. Lando has done the same as Lewis now. What is this Baku, this Azerbaijan GP? We've had two massive crashes at basically the final corner. We have had stupid decisions from Racing Point. I mean, what is going on? That's the second virtual safety car. And there's Lewis Hamilton, guys. He's already past Valtteri Bottas, as you guys can see. So Lewis is pushing, and he can go to the end on those hard tires. But what is going on in this race? Like, don't jolt like that. Oh no. No. Racing Point, don't tell me this. The driver that that was very close from the two McLarens. Oh boy. Okay, after making one of the stupidest decisions I've seen in a long time, after double stacking Racing Point's leading car retires. How does that work? How? Oh boy, okay guys, this race is really just, it's breaking my brain. We now jump on board with Daniel Ricciardo as he's going for a move on the Haas car, and that is an absolute easy move even before they get to the DRS. Ricciardo is past, I think that was Grosjean, if I'm not, not Grosjean, Leclerc if I'm not mistaken. But here we go, guys, on board with Lewis Hamilton as he is now, going for the move on the second horse of Kevin Magnussen around the outside of the first corner, and that is Hamilton up another position. Hamilton must be a man on a mission now, guys. But I think that final corner will be haunting him a bit, if I'm not mistaken. Well, if I'm not over exaggerating a bit, but that was a very hefty loose of the back end. The back end just gave up there. That is still baffling my brain. How did the back end just say, okay, bye? I mean, it's just weird, guys. But Bottas overtakes Magnussen, and now Hamilton is right on the rear end of Pierre Gasly. And here we go, guys. This is going to be an easy move. We know how OP the Mercedes is in a straight line. He pulls out of the slipstream, opens up DRS, and Hamilton just schools the Honda-powered AlphaTauri, and that is another move. Now you guys see we jump back again to my teammate Sebastian Vettel, who overtakes Magnussen, who just got overtaken by Bottas a few seconds ago. So Vettel finally, after being not really being a factor in this Grand Prix, is now starting to make his presence felt. We jump back on board here with Lewis Hamilton as he is right behind the final remaining racing point of Stroll. Here we go, Stroll pulls to the inside, Hamilton to the outside for the first corner. Here we go, round the outside goes Lewis Hamilton. And here we go, Hamilton gets the move done, and that is Lewis now up in 2. I'm not sure what position, I'm not gonna lie. Here we jump on board with Daniel Ricciardo, guys, as he is gonna come now in for his second and final pit stop onto a set of medium tires to run to the end of the Grand Prix. Now guys, Ricciardo, I can verify it in P2. So Hamilton and Stroll is now what, that P3 and P4. So Hamilton has made a good recovery after that very, very hefty crash, which I don't think I'll ever understand that. But here we go on board now, I think with Carlos Sainz, who is now, is this Lando? I'm not sure, guys, but basically the two McLarens are fighting, so it's Sainz and Norris. Here we go, yeah, but it's Sainz behind Norris. I just quickly saw her. Norris's very bright, shocking yellow helmet there, but Sainz goes right around the outside of Lando. And here we go, you guys can see now we are now on board with Lando Norris. Oh no, we are back on board with Sainz. Okay, I really thought we were going to be on board there with Lando. But here we go, you guys can see right behind, it is Ricciardo. And Ricciardo, guys, that Renault must have massive engine upgrades, because Ricciardo qualified P3, and now look how he's schooling both McLarens. I nearly said Mercedes. And the McLarens have got the same engine as the Renault. And Ricciardo is just absolutely schooling these guys on a straight line. So, I don't know what's going on there. But guys, now you guys can see, I managed to take my medium tires. Now that I didn't have to push to overtake Lewis, I was basically gifted the lead. I was able to really nurse these mediums. And I'm going to go onto a set of soft tires to try and bank the fastest lap of the Grand Prix to just get that extra point in. Now here you guys can see Lewis Hamilton is on the main straight. He's going to go into the first corner now. I think Lewis will take the lead, but I'm going to be right behind him. We get out ahead of Stroll, guys. Look at that. We are ahead of Lance Stroll, and Hamilton is 2 seconds up the road. We rewind quickly back there as we looked out towards Valtteri Bottas in the second Mercedes, which, just like my teammate, is only making his presence felt now. The first 2/3 of the Grand Prix, Vettel and Bottas were just sitting there. They weren't doing anything except, like basically driving, but still. You have to see there, Bottas goes around the outside as I exit the pit lane of Danny Kvyat. And that is us now. Well, we are in P2, guys, and we are going to chase after Hamilton. Here goes my teammate Vettel to go for a move on the AlphaTauri, just like Bottas did. The AlphaTauri defends to the inside. Vettel is on the outside of Kvyat. Around the outside, Kvyat gives Vettel a bit of a squeeze. No, Vettel pinches Kvyat to the inside, sorry. And that is Vettel now up into, what's that, P5? Because it's Hamilton, myself, then it's Stroll, Valtteri, Vettel. So, yeah, that is P5 for Sebastian. Now, you can see through the castle section, Hamilton is creeping through there. And, guys, one thing that came to mind for me, Hamilton was destroying these hard tires, trying to get the positions back that he lost after the crash and having his front wing replaced. So, Hamilton was so slow. Like, guys, I literally caught up 2 seconds in 2 sectors. Look how close I am to Hamilton. Okay, we caught up. I think when we came out of the pit lane, we were 2.3 behind. We are 8 tenths. And now look at the speed of this Ferrari. You guys can see that we have upgraded this car so well, even after the nerf. Look at the speed. Overtake mode engaged. The DRS is now open. We switch off overtake. And as no! What? Hamilton is into the pit lane? Okay, guys, we have just been gifted the win of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Those tires, okay, like I said, I know Hamilton thrashed those tires, but they still needed to make the end, guys. Those tires are really, really, really durable. They're almost indestructible. I mean, how is Hamilton needed to pit? Guys, this race, between stupid decisions and very uncharacteristic mistakes, this has been an absolutely crazy episode. Hamilton is also onto the softs, so I've got a rival for the fastest lap. It's going to be between myself and Lewis, but I think because Lewis is going to be battling the whole time, he's not going to be able to really go for the fastest lap, so he might have a little bit of saving grace right there. But here goes Hamilton on Carlos Sainz, around the outside, fresh softs against old hards. There is nothing that Sainz is going to be able to do about that. Hamilton, just the very next lap, has already caught up to Albon. And guys, there's like 6 laps to go. Hamilton is pushing like an absolute possessed person. And here we go. Hamilton around the outside. The Red Bull is really just sticking with the Mercedes in a straight line. But as soon as Hamilton opens up DRS, you guys can see the Mercedes just pulls and pulls and pulls. And there's nothing that the Honda-powered Red Bull can do about this Mercedes. We jump on about 2 laps later, guys, and Hamilton has now caught up to the rear end. Who's this? It might be Vettel. Oh no, it's Stroll. It's Stroll. Here we go. Around the outside. So guys, Stroll must have had an absolute gander because Hamilton has already passed Vettel. Okay, we missed that. Oh no, this is Bottas. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. That is Bottas who got past Stroll, and Vettel is still right behind them. We now go on board with Vettel, as he is now trying to chase down Stroll, which he is doing successfully. Right around Stroll, nothing that Stroll can do, and now Vettel sets his sights on Bottas, as behind, we're gonna rewind, guys. Look at the speed of this Mercedes-Benz. Hamilton opens up DRS now, and here he goes towards the AlphaTauri of Danny Kvyat. Nothing that Kvyat can do about it. And even the straight line speed of the Renault. Look how Hamilton closes up to Ricciardo. That is Ricciardo, by the way. So now it's fresh softs versus fresh mediums for the... Okay, well, I think Hamilton's softs are definitely... No, they are definitely fresher than Ricciardo's mediums. But those tires are going to be round about at the same speed now. So we'll see what... Because, guys, the softs still wear really quickly. But here goes Hamilton. He opens up DRS. And he has right past Ricciardo. And now, guys, look how quick Hamilton is. He is already caught up towards Stroll and Vettel. And Stroll is trying to re-attack Sebastian Vettel, guys. There goes Lord Stroll. He is going around the outside of my team, and I'm not supporting Stroll because my teammate is not supporting me in the constructors at this stage. And now even Hamilton is on this group. Hamilton, Vettel, Stroll, Ricciardo. Here goes Hamilton. He's now back up into P5. Well, that is not P5, that's P4. So, guys, Hamilton, after all the crap that has happened to him this race, he's still going to come away with the podium. Stroll has driven his heart out to try and get that racing points on the podium, but there is nothing that he's going to be able to do against Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton pulls to the inside, and that is Hamilton now up into P3. I don't think Hamilton is going to catch Bottas. I think Bottas has got P2 secured, but Hamilton into P3, Stroll P4, Ricciardo is around Vettel, so Ricciardo is into P5, and Vettel is all the way down to P6. But guys, with all due respect, after we made the move on Lance Stroll at the end of the first lap, we have been untouchable. Yes, we were behind Lewis until he made his mistake. We had about a 3-second gap to Lewis, and I wanted to chase Lewis down in the middle stint because I really thought, I almost knew Lewis was going to go for the one stop. And the new mediums compared to new hards, the mediums is like a second a lap slower. Faster. The hards are a second a lap slower. And I was ready to fight Hamilton for this race victory. But Lewis making a mistake at the final corner and pitting for a second time has gifted me this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I'm not going to complain. We're going to take the win for 2 seasons in a row at my favorite track. This feels good through the final chicane for the final time. And now we barrel towards the start-finish line. And guys, with the rears that are dead, but with the fastest lap in our back pocket, we weave in celebration and take the win for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
That's a race win. You've really been great today.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. So let's review the updated driver standings. Parker increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you? Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Appreciate your time.
Guys, look, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't work for that race win. I was ready to work for it until everything went wrong for Lewis Hamilton, but it's another victory in the bag. But guys, I'm gonna have to cut off this video really quickly. Guys, unfortunately, a bit of bad news. The highlights, I honestly had a little bit of a pooper. I forgot to record the highlights. So I'm really sorry, you guys will not be getting the highlights at the end of this race. But we were leading most of the way. There was a few good overtakes, but I don't think the highlights would have been that good. Not the point. Guys, another win in the bag. We are now solidly, we have got a massive lead in the championship. But like I said, it's still a long season and we can't forget about those two Mercs. They are going to come back with a vengeance. I know it. But guys, that has been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I do apologize that you guys will not be seeing the highlights, but I promise it will not happen again anytime soon. Please, if you haven't done it yet, drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds. Make sure to check out all the links in the description down below. Give this video a shout out and I will give you a shout out on my social media as well as on YouTube. Just make sure to tag me on social media when you give the shout out. And guys, also finally, if this is your first time here on Turbo Fox Races and you haven't tapped that subscribe button, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future awesome episode just like this. You guys are amazing. I love you. Thank you so much for the support with the videos and on the new channel. I will see you, y'all, for the next video here on Turbo Fox Races. Cheers!